And I will start the slide share. Okay, welcome everybody. Today we are talking about the DoD MURI. If you cannot see, please put in the chat, but I'm sharing screen, so I think we're good here. We're talking about the Department of Defense Multidisciplinary University Research Initiative, MURI. And this will be just a quick overview. You will receive these slides afterwards, and this is being recorded. So it will be a lot of info, but you'll get a chance to look at this later as well. My name is Christina. I'm the Assistant Director of Strategic Collaboration in GSI, Global Security Initiative. We're going to do a quick overview of the sponsor, a quick overview of this funding opportunity, a few tips and tricks at the end, and Q&A. This is an intentionally short session because we want to give you the opportunity to go read the funding announcement if you haven't already. So this will not be a comprehensive deep dive of every line of the BAA, but it will be enough to kind of get you on your way and decide if this is an appropriate funding opportunity for you to pursue. Global Security Initiative, my group has 4 centers. We focus on bringing together interdisciplinary researchers in support of national security. And the 4 centers are a DHS Center of Excellence in Accelerating Operational Efficiency, or CAOE. You're going to hear a lot of acronyms. We have a Center for Cybersecurity and Trusted Foundations, or CTF. Center for Human Artificial Intelligence and Robot Teaming, or CHART, and Center on Narrative, Disinformation, and Strategic Influence, or NDSI. Financial support for GSI's efforts, they come from a variety of government, industry, and private foundations, with the majority coming from DoD, DHS, and IC, as you can see on the pie chart there on the screen. We are thrilled to see some familiar faces today and always thrilled to meet new collaborators. So looking forward to meeting some of you for future funding opportunities. Let's talk about our sponsor for this one. It actually is 3 sponsors. You'll notice in the BAA and broad agency announcements, BAA, I'll use that acronym a lot. That's the funding announcement. It's ONR, ARO, and AFOSR, 3 DoD entities. And in the BAA, they just sort of collectively call it DoD, or DoD agencies. So I wanted to clarify that for all of you as you're reading. And there are very specific instructions, very specific topics for each of those sub-agencies. So I just want to make sure we're clear on who the funder, who the sponsor is here. It's actually 3. ONR, Office of Naval Research. So they were established in 1946, and those bottom 2 bullets there you can see is their mission to plan, foster, and encourage scientific research for future naval power and the preservation of national security. You'll hear national security a lot with these sponsors, and to develop, deliver, discover new technology for Navy and Marine Corps. As always, I really strongly encourage you to go to the website for these sponsors, any sponsor, when you're submitting a funding opportunity proposal, and just get to know them, get to know their mission, their research foci. It will serve you well. ONR has 5 science and technology departments, and they have dozens of research foci. So if you've been on their website, you'll see this sort of mountain of topics to click through, but really cool topics. And I encourage you to go to their website and look through. So underneath these 5 S&T departments on the screen here, they have research topics nested underneath those. ARO, founded in 1951. They are focused on Army mission and making sure that the Army has capabilities and technologies to ensure its future. And you can see that second from the bottom bullet there, lots of areas that they've already funded. All those STEM fields that are listed there, and again, related to national security needs. They have already funded research in 250 universities across the globe. over 1,000 researchers. AFOSR is part of AFRL. Notice all the acronyms. And they are focused on Air Force's mission. So the control and use of air, space, and cyberspace, a really interesting group. And that bottom bullet there, their strategy is to transfer basic research to industry, academia, and other AFRL directorates. So as you learn about the sponsor and, kind of winnow down which topic you're interested in and reach out to the topic chiefs, you'll really get to know the mission and the research areas of these sponsors. Okay, let's talk about the MURI. This year's MURI program is like previous ones. MURI's been around for many years, and they are looking for multidisciplinary research. So this is not single investigator awards. This is all about teaming. And so you need to go into a MURI with that mindset that this is not about highlighting you personally as the PI. This is about you as a PI bringing together a team and a robust multidisciplinary team across research topics and across organizations. So at the very bottom in small words, you can see there I pulled from the BAA that, one entity and one PI will be awarded, but you'll have to clarify in your submission who all is on the team, who your key personnel are, and how you'll distribute the effort, the actual work, and the funds. Program officers are really closely involved in MURIs, and they will give you a lot of guidance. You need to talk early on with the sponsor program point of contact, POC. That's a key aspect of the MURIs. It's all throughout this whole process. You're working closely with these program officers. Okay, all of these are 5-year duration, 7.5 million, so approximately 1.5 million per year. The links there to the BAAs, and again, you'll receive these slides later, so you can click on those links at your leisure and look through it. At the bottom of the screen, white papers are optional, but strongly recommended. And so DoD uses this phrase a lot in their funding opportunities: strongly encouraged, strongly recommended, and that means just do it. White paper stage is super, super important for you as an applicant. You're going to receive really valuable feedback from the sponsor, and, strongly encouraged to do that. So just do it. Here's your timeline for the MURI. The one highlighted in red is the one that you want to be focusing on. That's the white papers that are due in, approximately 6 weeks or so. But prior to that, you want to be reaching out to the topic chiefs. Again, you'll hear this a lot and read this a lot in the funding opportunity. You are allowed to send questions. That's about a month from now, May 5th, that those are due. Once you submit a white paper, you'll receive the feedback and get a go, no go, or invited or declined for full proposal. Okay, here are the topics. If you've read the funding opportunity already, you've already seen all these. We are not going line by line. There will be 3 slides here for each of the sponsors, but you can see that they're very, very specific, and that's intentional. Each year, there are very specific MURI topics. And a lot of times, potential applicants will send questions to the sponsor. This doesn't fit my research. Can I submit another topic? And the answer is no. Has to be one of these. If you want to submit a different topic, you're welcome to submit to the long range BAA for each of these sponsors. But these are the topics for this FY24. I always really enjoy reading through these topics in the MURI because they are so specific, and I learned so many new words. That topic 6, for instance, atmospheric wind drag and enthalpy flux. Say that 5 times fast. I would love to read that BAA or that proposal and see what that's all about. So ONR has 9 topics this year. ARO has 7. You can see here on the screen. And AFOSR also has 9. So very specific. So this screen here, I've copied and pasted directly from the BAA. This is topic 25, as you can see, gives a nice synopsis, a nice overview of this topic. It tells you what the sponsor's looking for from applicants. And down at the bottom there in that purple square, that is the topic chief, or chiefs in this case, who, if you were going after topic 25, you would become very familiar with these folks. This is who you're going to want to reach out to as soon as possible. Recommend doing a bit of prep work before you reach out to them, and we'll talk about some tools for that in a minute. But this is really, really important because you might have some back and forth with the topic chief on fine-tuning your research idea. So the sooner you reach out to them, the better. They want to help you. They want to help you have a really strong submission. So take advantage of that, use the time to your advantage. And yeah, don't delay. You may feel a little uncomfortable reaching out to a sponsor or POC if you've never done that before. And it can be intimidating, but they're nice folks. They're just really busy, so they may not respond right away. And they, again, want to help you have a great submission. So the more you do this, the more you practice reaching out to the sponsor, the easier it will get. Here is the submission package components. 4 pages is not a lot to explain your research idea. You might be thinking, phew, I only have to write 4 pages, but once you start writing, you'll be like, how do I squeeze this all in? Again, at the top there, you can see topic chief you need to contact before submitting a white paper. It is okay to submit multiple white papers to multiple topics. They just have to be very distinct submissions for each topic. And again, reach out to each topic chief for each topic. Your RA can help you with that summary of estimated costs. So recommend reaching out to your unit's RA as soon as possible to let them know that you're submitting. Even though this is only quote unquote a white paper and not a full proposal, the RA still will be very helpful to you because there are some very specific submission instructions as well for each sponsor. So you'll want to really deeply read the BAA. Just as an FYI, even though we're not at this stage, this is the full proposal submission package. And again, read that BAA many times. They also detail their review criteria, what they're looking for in a submission package, how they'll rate you. Good info. Okay, so let's talk about some tips to make sure that you have a really quality submission. Again, reach out to that topic chief. They are going to help you know specifically what they want. You don't have to guess. They'll tell you exactly what they want. They'll let you know if your research idea is in line with their topic. They may even recommend you talk to a different topic chief. Preparing a quad chart. So some of you who have done DoD proposals before already know what a quad chart is, and we'll talk about that in a second. I've got some examples on the screen. This is a great tool to kind of collect your thoughts and get it all in like a one-pager. Teaming, again, is super, super important in MURI. So be thinking about that as you're in these initial stages of your submission. Who do you want to pull together on your team? And again, it's not just about you as the PI, it's about the team collectively. That's what the sponsor is going to be looking at. The Heilmar questions. Those of you who worked with us in GSI know the Heilmars. We use them all the time, and I'll show you in a second here exactly what those questions are. But again, that's a very good prep tool for you as you're thinking through your research idea and preparing to reach out to the program officer. Always be mindful of the sponsor's mission and needs. Go to their website, read through their research foci, their mission statement. Read that BAA multiple times. I know it's boring reading. Our team, our GSI pre-award team, reads BAAs every single week, multiple, and it is not light reading. So we empathize with you, but there is a lot of good information there. Sometimes nuggets buried deep in the BAA. Your RA, again, will be able to help a lot with, especially the really detailed submission instructions. Your RA will be fantastic at that. Again, that key phrase, strongly encouraged, that means just do it. So anytime you see that in the BA, go ahead and do it. That's sort of the tip off from the sponsor that they really want to see this. No jargon. This is something that our team, we attend a lot of proposers days from sponsors, and I'm seeing this increasingly more and more from the presentations that sponsors give, where they just flat out say, we know you're smart, we know you're, accomplished in your field, but please don't use jargon in your submissions. And there are a variety of reasons for that. One of which is there could be multiple people reviewing your submission. Almost guaranteed that not every single one of them is a SME, a subject matter expert in your particular field. So the more kind of generalized the writing can be to a general audience, the better. And that just makes you look good, because it shows that you can translate the super technical information into language that a broader audience can hear and understand. Again, shout out for your RA. They will help you a lot as you're pulling together key parts, even at this early stage. An estimated budget still will benefit from having an RA say, oh, have you thought about this? Or make sure you put this in. Okie doke. So let's talk about some tools here. So the Heilmeyer Catechism. This is a set of questions that was developed by George Heilmeyer. He was a director in the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, which is under the DoD. Now, again, the MURI is not a DARPA. DARPA's not a sponsor for the MURI, but this is a really good tool that applies to any sponsor. So these questions you see here on the screen, those are developed by Dr. Heilmeyer, and he would say to his team, if you cannot answer these, we are not going forward with the project. And again, this applies to any project, any proposal, any sponsor. Even reaching out to the topic chief, if you haven't answered these questions ahead of time, it's not going to go smoothly. In fact, the topic chief might say, hey, come back when this is baked a little bit more. So it will really help you to think through these questions first, like right now, and answer these questions. Quad charts. Okay, so these also are a very common tool with DoD sponsors. This is a sort of calling card, if you will, for the DoD. They'll say, hey, if you reach out and say, hey, I've got this idea, they'll say, okay, send me your quad chart. And it's sort of like an elevator pitch for your research idea. On the screen, again, this is a DARPA one. MURI is not a DARPA program, but this is just an example. The one on the right is from an actual DARPA funding opportunity where they required applicants to use this exact template. The one on the left I created a long time ago. You're welcome to modify it to your liking, but you can see the topics there in the different quadrants. That's what sponsors are looking for. And again, this is very high level overview information of your research idea. And if you can fill out the Heilmeyers, fill out a quad chart, you're golden, because it's exactly the information that the sponsor is looking for. I do strongly recommend that you put a graphic on your quad chart. I know it takes up a lot of space, but it really is actually very, very helpful. And it will communicate a lot of information in just one image. Quad charts are not required for this MURI submission. Again, this is just a tool to help you be successful in your submission. All right, that was a ton of information very quickly. You will receive these slides later, so you can read through at your leisure. But I wanted to give a chance. I'm going to stop screen share here. I wanted to give a chance if anyone had any questions. Open it up to the group. And I know it was a lot of information to absorb, so it's okay if you have questions that you want to ask later. My contact information is on that last slide there, and you're welcome to reach out to me or our team, which is GSI pre-award at asu.edu. Okay. What is the rate of invitation to full? Good question, Faye. Do you know that, Faye, off the top of your head? They don't say that in the BA. Faye and her team are familiar with MURI as well. I'm going to stop the recording and you're welcome to stay and ask more questions.